We have examples in nature of creatures which start off as one body plan and then move to another body plan. You have butterflies or moths which start off as caterpillars and then they move in to being flying creatures with wings. The flying creature with wings feeds on in a totally different way to the caterpillar. The caterpillar has mouth parts and feeds on cabbage leaves or whatever it's feeding on. And yet when it becomes a flying creature, it's feeding off nectar using a proboscis, which actually unwinds and goes into a plant. You probably know one of the most wonderful examples of this is the hummingbird moth, which actually has a very large proboscis, and it has such large wings that people have actually thought that it was a hummingbird. But that starts off as a caterpillar, right? Now, for evolution to try to explain this, it has some big issues, because the creature starts off as a caterpillar, but according to evolution, that must have started off as something like a worm beforehand, and then it changes into a caterpillar, but you cannot leave it there, because the very time it changes into a caterpillar, it must also, by definition, have the ability to turn into a butterfly as well, because caterpillars don't lay eggs. It's the second body plan, the butterfly or the moth, which lays eggs, not the caterpillar. So evolution has a big problem trying to explain where does metamorphosis, which means two body plans, means large change, where does that come from? Because with a butterfly, it lays eggs, but the caterpillar doesn't lay eggs. So even if you were to allow long periods of time, you haven't actually got any way around the fact that immediately the worm-like creature is changing into a caterpillar, it must actually have the second body plan ready. So it means you've got to evolve two body plans at once. That, to my mind, shoots down completely any idea of evolution. It gets even worse, because dragonflies, which are amazingly beautiful, have wonderful colouring, just like butterflies do. Dragonflies, though, start off where? Not in the air. So not in on the earth as caterpillars. They start off in water. They start off as nymphs, and the nymphs have gills. They breathe through the water. Then when they come out of the water, they come into something which looks a bit like a cocoon. They break that, and out of the cocoon, out of the casing, comes not a butterfly, but a dragonfly. But as it comes out, there's little threads which are drawn out of its flanks, and those threads are actually leaving holes in their thorax through which they breathe air. So they move from gill breathing to air breathing. All that's got to have been ready in the immediate evolution of this creature, which of course I don't accept whatsoever, but it shows to me that it's an utter nonsense. It cannot be true.